The Human Development Index, covering poverty, healthcare, maternal mortality, education, and life expectancy, plus all the drama Nigerian politics tend to serve up, can rattle the most doggedly optimistic Nigerian. But like I often say, if you want to keep your faith in Nigeria alive, spend more time with Nigerian children and teenagers, because they brim with brilliance, creativity, energy, simplicity, fun, and loads of hope. They always remind one of how great Nigeria can one day become, because they will be the leaders of tomorrow. I sat with a few of such young leaders from different secondary schools in Lagos to review this book titled Smart and Brilliant Writing for Secondary School Students, written by Michael Omisore, an architect turned writer, professional editor, and content marketing strategist. Like they always do anytime I have the privilege of mingling with Nigerian teenagers, these smart and brilliant lads inspired me. Welcome to Channel's Book Club. I am Olakunle Kasumo. You've all read this book, Michael's book.
Yes, sir.
Titled Smart and Brilliant Writing for Secondary School Students. So I'm going to ask you what you think about the book a bit later, but I'm very curious to start by asking you, what do you think about the reading culture amongst Nigerians of your generation? You're all teenagers, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And in secondary schools. People say to me all the time that you guys don't read, that you guys are so focused these days on the social media and television and so on. But maybe apart from your textbooks to pass exams, you don't really enjoy reading as much as people used to enjoy back in those days. What do you guys think about that?
In my own school, we have students who are focused, like, not just talking about my school now. I mean, people I'm around now. I feel there are people who are focused. You know where you're going to. Okay, if you don't pass JAMB, WAEC, this, that, you're not entering the university, and you know the disgrace you face nowadays if you're not in university after secondary school. So I think it is the set of people you see that you think are not reading.
Okay, so you think that
We are reading.
you're reading. Okay.
Personally, I feel that the average Nigerian student just wants to go to school, pass his or her exams, and then just get a job, get rich, and that's the end of life. But personally, I think if you want to read, you read to develop yourself personally. And some people read to just, okay, I'm reading for English, I'm reading for mathematics, but I read for motivation, to be motivated, to actually know what's happening. And I don't think the average Nigerian teenager actually likes anything motivation or something like that.
So I'm guessing the type of books you read are motivational books.
Yes, I do.
Give me one or two titles you like.
James Carnegie's book, How to Make Friends and Influence People.
That's a classic. Yes. Is there any other one?
Stephen R. Covey, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
How old are you? How old are you, Amaka?
I'm 14.
You're 14, and you enjoy those books. You don't read novels.
I read novels when I can,
Okay.
but basically, I'm not the novel type.
I'm not a novel type. Okay? Let me get the views of some other people here. How about Vera?
Well, in my opinion, Nigerian teenagers are not reading or writing. But from experience, I found out that they think textbooks, novels, motivational books, they're all monotonous. They have the same basic idea that they should just go on for it, do this, do that, be books and stuff like that. But Nigerian children, they like social media because it takes them away from that which is real. Like, it gives them that chance to be rebellious. And in my own opinion, well, I think reading is actually the best thing to do. Not just reading a particular type of book. For example, I read different things. I think variety is the cure to mother of disgust, that sameness. So, well, I think think Nigerian teenagers are not reading and writing.
So you think Nigerian teenagers don't read?
Yes.
Sunshine thinks Nigerian teenagers read.
Yes.
Okay. Who else agrees with Sunshine here?
I have a different opinion from what everybody has been saying. I don't think the question is, do Nigerian teenagers read? I think the right question should be, what do Nigerian teenagers read? Because there's nobody on this planet Earth that would say I don't read. But the question should be, what are they reading? For example, just go on the street now, early in the morning, you see teenagers like us, because I go to school with the school bus. Then on the junction, if you are turning, there's one newspaper shop where they sell newspapers. When you are passing by, I see teenagers of my age, or maybe younger, older, but teenagers reading maybe sports news or anything and stand there arguing. They are reading there, but what are they reading? What they are reading, is it having an impact on their life? So I think what we should maybe do is to we should monitor what teenagers read instead of, I'm not saying reading newspapers are not bad or are bad or things like that, but when you are meant to be in school, reading maybe your notes or doing something better that will better your life, you are reading sports news. And also, if you go on the internet too, people do read on the internet, but what are they reading? Now, the internet, I found out that it was created to help the world
exchange information,
exchange informations and get closer. Even though you can't go to meet someone, through the internet you can know what the person does, how the person be. Even when you are calling someone now, the internet has got it to the extent that you can be seeing yourselves as you are calling. So there are many things on the internet, but what I think is that we should monitor what teenagers read, not ask, do teenagers read? That's my opinion.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. So we shouldn't even be talking about do they read or not, because you believe they read. It's about what are they reading. Let me hear Fega first. Okay. I'll come back to you, Sunshine. I think there's something burning you want to talk about. Damilola, have you spoken? No. Okay, let me Fega, what do you think about this?
I agree with Tomiwa. The question should be, what do teenagers read? Me as a person, I like reading novels.
Okay. Fiction
novels. But I also read textbooks, that interesting textbooks. I don't like boring textbooks. I read I read textbooks, and I also read my notes, school notes. I read anything I can lay my hands on, as far as it's not boring. So what he said now, he said, what do teenagers read? Okay, if you see some magazines now, what they do talk about, they don't talk about educational stuffs. They always talk about things that are not relevant, things that they are supposed to learn like now. So
you agree with Tomiwa?
Yes.
It's about what they are reading.
Yes.
And you personally, it sounds like you read a lot. When Fega was talking, I was going to ask you that, are there textbooks that you use in your schools that are boring?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, interesting. Okay, Sunshine. You wanted to say something?
I think the maybe Ministry of Education now should adjust. Like, there are some textbooks, what you see from the beginning to the end is calculation, no picture, nothing. Or some chemistry textbooks, you just see those equations. They don't want to show you how the rocks look like, how those, they tell us bromine is reddish brown. They didn't show us the color. Nothing. They are telling us, okay, this one according to room temperature. Show us, let's see it. I think now we are going practical.